Hey, shalom everybody, and welcome back to ReligionWinked TV, where my spiritual ear stays. All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about how I believe I've been sexually harassed before on the traditional job, and how some people are being sexually harassed in cyberspace, which to some people, being an influencer, a content creator, YouTuber, IG, influencer, it's a job to many of us. And unwanted, unsolicited, uninvited, unwelcomed sexual advances could be grounds for people to file lawsuits, sexual harassment suits against you. Now, just back on, you guys go ahead and check this song out, and I'll be right back, okay? Happy birthday to me, y'all. No matter what, happy birthday. It's my birthday, yes. But I'm going to share a story with you guys about how I believe I was sexually assaulted. I mean, any level of assault, any level of advances from people, like I said, and you didn't put the energy out there for them to pretty much be coming on to you sexually or whatever, can pose a problem. And for me, I'm just going to address it once on social media, and hopefully you guys get the facts that I'm going to put out in this video and go from there. I mean, nobody should be harassed in any way, but especially sexually. It's about self-control. And some people refuse to have self-control. Some people refuse to honor and respect other people's space and their desires to have or not have what they want in their life. Not everybody wants you. Not everybody got on social media to have sex with you or be sexually sought out by you. So for me to have had my training October 5th for my secular job, it was a statewide training, mandated training now. And then to come on social media and hear people talk of possible allegedly sexual harassment. I don't know about the assault part, but I think it goes hand in hand. So when I pull up the information here, hey everybody, welcome to the live chat. Shout out to Facebook, how are you? Shout out to IG. I will upload this over there or tag you in this video somehow. And welcome YouTube. Yeah, it's my birthday, so let's just leave this birthday logo up there, okay? Our avatar. Happy birthday to all the Libras. Shout out to you guys. If you get my notifications and you guys want to come over here and talk about sexual abuse, I had this on my computer since like October 5th. But things happen. You prolong it. And it's actually good when you can sit and wait on the Lord and move in his timing. Because if I would have put this out back on October 5th when I did my training and pulled up this information, then we would not be able to include some of the narrative that's going on social media, specifically YouTube. Shout out to you, Jay Dunn, and anybody involved with that reality TV show that's popping off on YouTube. Welcome if you want to come over and talk about it, but if you just want to pick up facts, primarily from the state of New York, because that's where I pulled up my information from, and that's the training I took. I would imagine all trainings are similar, but state to state can vary. So please check with your state on who you probably would see first, your supervisor, and then there's other numbers I'm going to be throwing out here or given that are actually over the sexual harassment and assault policies and procedures. I forget her name. Is it Barbara Rose? It's something, but we, like I said, we just took it, and hopefully I can pull up the information you guys need. So what's going on? What's everybody doing? Hey, hey, hey. I am a music girl, so I am going to let some music, ride out in the background for us. Let's see. Actually, I like that song. Let's just let that rock out. So yeah, what is a birthday without no music, right? So anyway, guys, sexual harassment. Wow, it's crazy. Can you guys see me, guys? I believe I've been sexually harassed. It's minute. I was able to handle it. I'm going to tell you my story as soon as this goes off. But I also believe that there's other people out here knowingly and unknowingly probably being harassed. I said if it happened to me, it's happening to other people, okay? Make sure my plant don't fall out the windowsill. Good afternoon. Hi, everybody. Those little guys got on here last night like, she's tore up. That light is directly behind there, and I'm a person where photosensitive to light sometimes, and basically I could stare at the sun, but house light, car headlights and stuff like that kind of bother me. So yeah. If I seem to be squinting, it's to get that. Let me see if I can turn, hold on, the setting off or to another setting. That don't make it no better. Oh, that's even worse. How was that? That's not natural. That is that. Oh, they all. Oh. All right, let me see. All right, so we'll leave it with that one. Plus, these eyelashes are heavy. So anyway, when the song go off, we're gonna talk about sexual harassment. I have four tabs here that we're gonna get into. And with that being said, let me go ahead and share my first one. Bear with me, guys. Hopefully it's that one. All right, so yeah, hopefully we have it on the screen here. Can you guys see that? All right, cool. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Let me get this banner off of here. There we go. All right. All right, so let me go ahead and get over here to this screen. U.S. Equal Opportunity and U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is where I believe I'm going to be reading from. I'm going to go ahead and try to take this and put it in the live chat right now. Bear with me, guys. I may end up turning that light off. Hold on. Let me go to comments. Let's go paste and document number 1 that I'm gonna title it document number 1 because I don't want to have sexual all over the place. So document 1, okay. There we go. All right, so y'all see my little readers? They match my little outfit, right? So we are ready to go. And let's get right into it. If you guys are afraid of being sexually harassed or afraid of losing your job, we're going to get into where not only your traditional job, and I'm going to tell you a small incident where I believe not too long ago I probably was being flirted with by one of the supervisors, and how it unfolded for me. But I'm sure there's other people in social media. I get a lot of these Asian trolling, young looking women come over here. I need love. I need your love from you. I'm like, what the fuck? Is you stupid? People don't like that shit, yo. I get turned off by that. I'm not turned on by women, first of all. When men do it too. Somebody on Facebook sent me a picture of their peen. I'm like, how degrading and nasty are you? What if I read this shit down and dragged it to the ground, right? You know how you roast people? But I'm like, no, don't be sending me this shit. Like, if I want to have a sexual rendezvous with you in any way, I'll let it be known. And that's what's wrong with supervisors and people in authority on the job. They don't care. It's either you go out with me on a date, you have sex with me, or I am going to jeopardize your job. So there's a retaliation clause behind it and stuff like that. But these people are abusing their power in the workplace, and I don't like it. Whether it's trolls or whether it's people physically attracted to me or whatever, it's a turnoff and it's disgusting. And I told you, people don't play with people like that. You can't prevent some things from coming your way, but when it come your way, you block them, you report them as spam, you delete them off your channel, and you keep it moving. But no, you guys will get caught up in it, and somehow on social media, people being told to kiss my ass, people being told to suck peen, eat the JJ, people being hit up in their DMs over and over and over again by the same person, multiple people, soliciting sex or how they want to take you out or complimenting your hair. And well, it's a fine line. Like I just said, we just had this on October 5th, but it's a fine line when people are complimenting you. Okay, say your hair look nice. When you say, ooh, look at them lips. Now you're going too far. Ain't that right, Curtis? I had to block somebody over here. Woman of God, look at them lips. Man, if you don't get out of here with that BS, not everybody is driven away by sexual desire, especially online. At least know who the hell you showing your titty to or willing to even blow a kiss to. You don't know. It might be a demon out there trying to catch your kiss. Like on some real shit. Like people are just too desperate and weak in certain areas, and sexual desires is one of them. I mean, we can even talk the fact right here on the sidebar. Children cannot drive until they're 18. Children cannot drink until they're 18. Children cannot smoke or buy cigarettes until they're 18. Children cannot have sex until what age? Girls getting pregnant at 13. Grown men out here sleeping with 15-year-olds like we just heard about the pastor in the church not too long ago. But there's no age limit for sex. Even if you say two 13-year-olds having sex, there's no age limit for sex. But there's an age limit for everything else. So it lets me know that there's a sexual spirit in the land that don't really give a damn how old you is when you have sex. There's some men that go to other countries just to sleep with young girls. And that's sexual abuse to me. Not so much harassment on the job, but that's another form of sexual abuse. Assault, abuse, harassment, it's all the same thing, guys. All right, so bear with me. It is all the same thing. I'm going to put some more music on for the moment. There we go. All right, so let's get into reading. So, oh no, before we do that, go ahead and let this song play. And then I'm going to come back and tell you my story. Happy birthday, everybody. There we go. Let you guys know what we're about to get into here. We're going to go through the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. This is basically the first document link in the chat there. And we're going to talk about sexual harassment and some other good things to help us all be safe in the workplace. For many of us, YouTube is becoming our bread and butter, way of life, our job. A lot of you have quit your job to be YouTube content creators full time. And some of the things you're doing and some of the things you're saying pose sexual harassment to a degree. I'm not with you when you guys go on your meet and greets and do all these other things off camera, on camera, but sexual assault can be possible, allegedly. But I know there's a lot of sexual abuse going on. But what I notice is people abusing themselves sexually just to get a click and a view, just to get a following. They're putting their body out here. I went to click on somebody's video yesterday, and for the love of God, this big old woman was laying up in the bed half naked with the cover up to her, breast. But you see a large portion of her torso area above the breast, like the chest. She was just a bigger woman. I'm like, well, damn. I know when you click over here, everything don't look good. But for the love of God, the least you could do is sit up in bed and put some goddamn clothes on, right? Anyway, to each his own, but people don't realize how. Let me come on camera to say this because you guys think I be playing around. People don't realize how sexually perverted YouTube and most social media platforms have become. So I am not the teacher of this, but let me go ahead and share my testimony and then we can move forward, okay? So coming back to my part-time job this time around, because since 2006 it's been off and on with this particular job. And I was asked to go over by a corner where my supervisor was an elderly white man who would come around and get the time card, the time sheets, and tell us any pertinent information with, any other meetings, like when we would have sexual harassment meetings or any other training, the union training, anything of that nature, right? So as I would say May of 2019, I met this gentleman, right? And so I remember him saying to me back then, I remind him of his aunt, right? And I'm like, because when I dress, and when I go to work to do a school crossing position, I don't go out there like I'm going dressed to a club, but it's a job. I had a woman tell me the other day, I take pride in my work, and I will go out with a little flat pair of heels on. When I say flat pair, kitten or a little bit higher, boots. I'm not really a sneaker person, but I know the times of the years when it's busy, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and like Valentine's Day. So I'll wear flat shoes, but I'm coordinated, I'm clean, and I look very presentable, as if I shouldn't be on the corner crossing children. I should be home somewhere running my own business or sitting on a CEO somewhere. That's just been me all my life, you guys. And shout out to me today. It's my birthday, and I think I look pretty decent for 53. This is my first hair look right here. I'm going to try to do the other two looks, but if you follow me on Facebook, you already seen all three hair looks, not outfits, because all three hair looks can go with the outfit I wear. But I'm going to, after I do this live, I'm going to switch up the hair and the bands, if you guys can see, and give you a new look that way. But it's pretty good to be able to. I remember it was a time I couldn't really do nothing for my birthday. Now I'm in a position where I could change my hair 3 times in one day if I want to. Not that that's matters, but that's what I want to do for my birthday. I told you guys in the earlier video I spent $200 roughly on myself for my birthday. And I think I'm doing pretty good to be 53. I live alone. I just got one of my other vehicles because it was save on insurance. I couldn't really quite get it up and running, but I have money to go buy another vehicle if I want to. I'm just going to sit with the one vehicle for now and do what it do. I may trade that in and get something, but until I could get a truck, which I'm not going to do anything right now because at this age, I know what I want and I want what I like and I like what I want and I'm going to get it. So he would always compliment me on how nice I look. And he would always say I reminded him of his aunt. She was an Italian lady, but she dressed her butt off. She had a little swag with her, right? She was swaggo. I like to say swaggo over here. Y'all say swag, I say swaggo. I'm fly when I want to be, right? But anyway, I mean, even down to when it's wintertime, my gloves, my hats, my scarves, my coats, my boots, everything matched for the most part. I mean, considering the uniform we have to wear as a crossing officer, I do my best. But he was always coming through. So by March of this year, I was freaking tired of it. It wasn't where he made me feel uncomfortable or was saying, hey, when he come get the time slip, he just smirk and say something stupid. I pull it out my pocket, give it to him, and go on about my business. Every now and then, I like that hat. Oh, look at you. You look kind of sharp. I didn't even notice you this morning. Like, just shit, right? So I never reported it to our supervisor, his supervisor. I just, brushed it off like I could handle that. He's not threatening my job. I don't have to sleep with this man. I mean, it's nothing like compromising me right now other than, an old white man being fresh. On the job, that's sexual harassment, though, if I wanted to take it there. So March of this year, a lot was going on. I was on that corner like, I'm sick of these crackers. I was calling the white people crackers. I was sick of the 150 odd children I was crossing morning and afternoon. I was sick of the weather. I was sick of white people riding by, black people too, beeping at me, asking me for directions. But I'm polite, y'all. I don't take it out on them. I was just fed up. And I was telling y'all from October of last year, my spirit had been vexed, right? Didn't really understand, but God reveals things throughout life. You just got to pay attention and live life to understand it. And, there was a lot going on. And I was working another part-time job. And I definitely was fed up with that because if y'all don't know, I told you this young black dude, 34, threw some damn lettuce on me and I was ready to beat his ass up in that goddamn restaurant. But nope, I was keeping my composure. I was getting sick of it, tired of working for white people. They just let people act any way they want to act. I was going through it. And here come Rona. I don't know about y'all, but Rona gave me a chance to freaking group and get the hell up out of that situation because you don't really want to quit because you need your jobs. But I got tired of working on jobs where employees will let other employees do and say the most stupidest foul shit. And then they look at me because I speak up like I'm the problem. You throw lettuce on me, I will beat your ass with a bag of lettuce till it get ripe and dry out again and get ripe again. I'm not playing with you. Who the freak you think you is? Don't let the name ReligionWinked TV fool you guys. Are you kidding me? Who the hell gonna throw some goddamn lettuce up in the air but make sure it land over on me? That's why I ain't going back to work for no goddamn body no more. I have valid reasons to tell the traditional workplace to kiss my royal black ass. Even this part-time job, I'm out on a 3-month leave on right now. My boss, black as she is, knows she gonna try to throw a supervisor position up in my face the other day. I took ill, called in. Oh my god, that's why I ain't gonna give you the supervisor. Bitch, what did you just say? What did you just say? What did you just say? Knowing I've been standing out in this goddamn cold, little arthritis going on, shit, being the best crossing officer, and you got a position, you gonna throw it up in my face now? How dare you? Went to my doctor and said, look, I need a 3-month note. These bitches is not gonna drive me motherfucker crazy. She gonna regret doing that shit to me. Yeah, y'all done playing with me when it comes to the traditional job. So I could have wrote him up, got him fired from his little position if I wanted to, but I said it wasn't worth it. And all holding it in, being humble, turning the other cheek, just having mercy on people because God has mercy on me, feeling like I'm out of my comfort zone. Rona happened. We all get sent home the day Breonna Taylor get killed, March 13th. I was like, whew. The next day, I go to my part-time job, meaning I didn't have to deal with old dude riding up, checking me out every morning. Like, give it a break, dude. I'm not laughing with you. I'm not feeding into your negative, nasty jokes. I'm not complimenting you. Good morning, sir. How are you doing, Joe? It's a pleasure to see you. Here's my time slip. Keep it moving. So, Breonna Taylor happened March 13th. We all get sent home for the district because of the corona. I go to work on my part-time job the next day. Sorry, guys, they are right outside my house working on the gas line. They've been doing this since early August. They've been laying and measuring the pipes. Now they're actually here out in the front doing whatever. One day, early October, they had to come inside the house and deal with the gas line. But anyway, so I go to work on my other part-time job, and what happened was I was working in another city September prior to March of this year, and they hired a bunch of school children, young adults, coming out of high school and stuff like that. So I looked on the schedule, and it says 6 hours for one Sunday. Then the following Sunday, it says 6 hours. I said, you know what? See ya. And I walked away from that job. Like, the hell are 6 hours? So anyway, when you talk about abuse on the job, sexual abuse on the job, harassment, assault, and all that stuff, ain't nobody ever put their hands on me in any kind of way. I guess they know who the hell I be or who I was prior to finding my own salvation, okay? Because ain't no white man give me no salvation. If anything, white men got me and my people fighting for salvation 500 years later. Anyway, so I was able to reprove myself. I was able to get a grip. I was able to say, oh, you know what? Rest, girl. You need it. Hello? Hey, thank you. How are you? I'm hanging in there. I'm on live talking to YouTube and Facebook, but I'm doing good. All right, I'll call you back when I get off live. I'll probably come down. Oh, she got my present. Tell her I'll be down in a little while. All right, love y'all. Okay, peace. Oh, that's my sister and my niece telling me they got a present. So anyway, it was like a reprieve. It was like, okay, I had time to think about it. So the message for me is, the way he was flirting with me, the way he was trying to, I don't think coming on to me like he wanted to go there sexually, but it's annoying when people keep telling you how nice you look and how, like, It could be borderline harassment. But what happens is people start responding to the comments. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate describing. Don't feed into it, guys. And if you happen to be sexually harassed, let's go ahead and get into this right now. I'm going to be reading from, again, United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commissions. And I'm just going to give you some highlights. And I do believe I have other stories I can share with you about that, because we had so many like case studies when we took our test on the 5th about sexual harassment. Was actually sexual harassment and was just a compliment or somebody being nice versus somebody trying to set you up to go out on a date. You go out on that date and then he calls you again and say, let's go again. And you say no. And he say, oh, you better come on or I'm going to make you lose your job. That type of stuff happens all the time. So sexual harassment. It is unlawful to harass a person, an applicant or employee because of that person's sex. Regardless of how they identify, it's unlawful to harass that person. Now, I can imagine transgender LGBT community get harassed a lot. Nice looking men and women. People in general. Right? Harassment can include sexual harassment or unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical harassment of a sexual nature. Again, inviting people to your body parts, telling people where they can kiss, go do this, do that, in the heat of an argument or in beef or in things of that nature. If it's unwelcomed sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, good, bad, or indifferent, and other verbal and physical harassments. Let me go ahead and highlight this comment for you, this paragraph, excuse me. Are you going to highlight it? There we go. So right here, harassment can include sexual harassment, quote unquote, or unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical harassment of a sexual nature, right? I mean, now it's going to make you start to think on your social media, the amount of time you put on social media, the engagement you have with people. Are these people crossing the line? Harassment does not have to be a sexual nature. However, can include offensive remarks about a person's sex. For example, it is illegal to harass a woman by making offensive comments about women in general. And again, if you look at how LGBT community is preferred or protected over the Black woman, in the comments that come from the Black woman to the LGB and from the LGB to the Black woman, a lot of that is very offensive, people. But thank God the Lord said, woe to those that the offense come through. But a lot of that is definitely offensive. I hope you guys can still hear me. So both victim and the harasser can be either woman or man. It can go both ways. Either sex, either gender, male or female, can be sexually harassed or do the harassing. And the victim and the harasser can be the same sex. Oh, absolutely. It could be a man harassing a man or a woman harassing a woman. And like I said, when I get those little avatars of these Asian white looking women coming over here talking about I need love, to me, that's woman to woman, but that's offensive. Who the hell are these people needing love on YouTube think I got any to give them? Paul, And Silas said, I believe it was Paul, silver and gold I have none. But what I do have, I'll give you, and that's the damn word of God to make you stop wanting other women, you nasty ass woman. That man, stop it. All I got is the word of God for you, okay? And you can take it any way you want to, but I'm just spelling it out from facts. I'm giving you commentary here today. I share my personal story on how I could have been sexually harassed, but I didn't make a stink of it because if anything, I would have ended up telling that old white man off, and that would have hurt him more than me actually going through the chain of command to get him to leave me alone. Like I said, he started realizing, and by the time March and Rona came, the Lord said, let me get my child up out of this circumstance. And here I am today. 53 years old, never been accused of sexually harassing anybody, never had a desire to be with a woman, never want to, see people get abused on their job because of their sexual identity. But at the same time, being a spiritual woman, the only identity I know is a man, a woman is a woman, and the child better stay in their damn place and obey his parents and honor his mother and father, so his days will be long and his life will be lengthened. Days will be lengthened here in the earth. That goes for all of us. And I'm sure your mother and father told you, leave people the hell alone if they don't want to be bothered, right? Especially with unwanted sexual. That's the most nastiest, despicable thing a person can do, is assume somebody want to sleep with you. Assume somebody wants you. Assume that somebody want to be wanted by you. So although the law doesn't prohibit simple teasing, offhand comments or isolated incidents that are not very serious, harassment is illegal when it is so frequent or severe that it creates a hostile or offensive work environment, or when it results in an adverse employment decision, such as the victim being fired or demoted or not getting a job. Because as we read up here, it talks about an applicant or an employee. And believe you me, I feel like because I haven't shown my body, I haven't reached out and want to meet and greet and sleep with people, sexually, I can be harassed over here just a little bit. Just a little bit on social media, because or I've been demoted, or I can't grow my channel because you got to be salacious and seductive and, slimy as all the other people allegedly on YouTube that have grown their number, using their bodies, telling people to kiss their body parts, threatening people with their body parts. They don't realize how offensive they've been to other people and how they could have crossed the line of sexual harassment, assault, and or abuse. Because we know some people have hooked up and had sex on these YouTube streets and basically could have been abused by their sexual partner, allegedly. I mean, you guys hear the stories. So anyway, the thing that stood out to me as to why the Lord will have me have all this information on October 5th, my mother's birthday, by the way, and not share it until now, is because there's a woman named Jay Dunn, and I'm not going to get too much into her business, but she was down with this alleged reality show over on YouTube. You make friends with people. Sometimes they're your friends, sometimes they're not your friends on social media. That's the game old and young play on YouTube, okay? And she may have gotten herself hooked up with the wrong people. They invited her down to Atlanta because she lived in Atlanta when they were shooting in Atlanta. They invited her back down to Orlando when they were recently just shooting in Orlando. Now, these are other content creators and said producers that looked out on YouTube and saw people with personality to bring them down. These people beef, they go at each other. A lot of them have sexually harassed, assaulted, and or allegedly abused one another in the midst of them fighting with one another, have said things about people's children that could have been sexual harassment, abuse. I don't know so much about assault because that content creator or those people have not been around the children. But then you have parents who may be sexually abusing, assaulting, and harassing their own damn children. Okay. So anyway, it came out the other night. There was a panel going on, and it was like maybe 13 of them. And Jay Dunn was one of the people on the panel. She was a panelist, and they all had a point or was all pointing the finger at Jay Dunn that, you know, basically she was wrong. She was out here lying, not telling the truth. I'm not going to get into everything. But Jay Dunn came back with a response and was like, she was assaulted, and I think this is where they're getting sexually assaulted crossed up with sexual harassment. She was hit, so it had nothing to do with sex. So that in and of itself is just an assault. But then there was a picture going around and still going around, and it's alleged that the people who took the picture of her took it of her big, humongous booty, y'all. When I say she got a big old booty, some women wish they had half the booty she got. But she, you know, she's a very shapely, voluptuous woman on the lower half, and she was standing sideways, and they took a picture of her butt. Was it to be funny? Was it a drag? Probably so, because that's what they do. Unfortunately, the picture got leaked out to somebody else, and that person let Jay Dunn know that the picture was leaked. So this is where Jay Dunn brings up and other content creators, other people as well, bring up the whole ideology of sexual harassment or narrative of her allegedly being sexually harassed, because they can, you know, I don't know if you can prove that they just took the picture of her butt to get off on her butt or to do something crazy with her butt other than to put it out and let people see how big her butt really is. But you know, some people with the right lawyers and attorneys and everything like that, right, sexual harassment training, knowing the facts about it, can make a case. And that's all I'm saying here in this video. Here's the facts. I'm giving you proof. I'm giving you you know, scenarios of what is sexual harassment, what is sexual assault, because sexual assault is somebody has to take advantage of you sexually, assault you sexually in some way. Kind of like Common did Jaguar Wright. Was it Common and Jaguar Wright when he put his peen in her face? Excuse me, y'all. Unwanted, excuse me, and unsolicited, right? But that's a form of sexual harassment. Let me come on camera. If she wanted to make a thing of that, she very well can. She very well can. So, shout out to Jaguar Wright for pointing that out. Because when a man put his peen in your face, oh, Lord have mercy, while you sleep, that's might be something to report. But like Jaguar Wright, she waited all these years later. You know, the opportunity presents itself, and now we know about it. You know how many people Common may have allegedly sexually assaulted in the meantime, in between time? And Meg Stallion, you may be right, Meg Stallion. I love Gossip Girl XOX. She said Meg the Stallion. She said Meg the Stallion. I don't know how she said Meg Stallion. She don't say Meg the Stallion, but I love the way she say it. Shout out to you, Jessica Kahiner. Meg the Stallion, yes. No Maggie Meg. Meg said we always protecting our black men. And it's a shame a lot of black men, gay or straight, on social media is doing a lot of violating and sexual harassment on these YouTube streets. Again, I just saw a woman, and this isn't to say anything, but shout out to you, Sansere. She came back from the dead. Still beefing, still in her sector, doing whatever, right? This has nothing to do with sexual harassment, but the sexual perversion that's going on in this world. She has an OnlyFans page, and I only knew that because the live stream she was doing on YouTube was promoting her OnlyFans page. So it's like, sex is everywhere, free will, free choice, do what you want to do. But just remember, when you put yourself out there, anybody is at risk of violating you. We've all heard, so-and-so, he talking about the way I'm dressed. Maybe why are you dressed that way? Because when you're dressed that way, whether it's in a club, on a corner, on the street, wherever you are, church, dressed that way, men find it appealing. Most of them are going to say something to what you're wearing and what you have on. So, unwanted, unwelcome, unsolicited, didn't ask for it, didn't deserve it, didn't call for it, is basically what we're finding out. Although the law doesn't prohibit simple teasing, offhand comments or isolated incidents that are not very serious, such as my old boss, Joe. Wasn't very serious, but it was annoying as hell. All right, I get the point. I get the picture. Never gonna happen. Take that out your mind. But every day, every Wednesday, Monday through Friday, he have to drive around to see if me and the other lady that was sharing the same block there was at our post. Those days, he didn't really say anything. Pervert probably drove by and was whispering something to himself or jacking off. Who the hell knows? But on that Wednesday, it started to get very annoying because I didn't want it. So it goes on to say, harassment is illegal when it is so frequent or severe that it creates a hostile work environment. Look, yesterday when I logged onto my YouTube and I saw the comment, need love from you, need love you, love me back, I said, you know what? I was fed up. I was ready to shut my YouTube page down. I said, these sick ass people, man. I found the remove button, report button, spam button, and all that stuff and got them off my page. But it's very annoying. I want to hear comments about why you should or should not vote. I want to hear comments about, do you feel you're sexually harassed on YouTube? If this shit keep happening, if this same person I would have let keep frequenting it, catch that on fleek. If I would have allowed it to continue, then it may somehow get to sexual harassment. Why don't you nip it in the bud before it even get there? Hopefully they got the message and will leave me alone. But it says here, if it's so frequent or severe that it creates a hostile or offensive work environment. It could have been offensive. I could have got on there and cursed her the hell out and said, leave me and my page alone. It could be offensive work environment now because everybody that come over and say, oh, you know how you say on social media, I love you, God bless you guys. You think everybody want to sleep? No. Don't get it twisted, guys. There's natural love, unconditional love, and then there's perverted love being twisted for lust and sexual desire, where it's crossing over to sexual harassment, assault, and abuse for some people. So the harasser can be the victim's supervisor. Hello. A supervisor in another area, a co-worker, or someone who is not an employee of the employer, such as a client or a customer. All right, so where I was working, The school nearby, right? The delivery man coming with the food always had something to say. Even pulled over, asked me my name, tried to flirt. I'm like, oh, hell no. That's a customer or a client of where you're working. The postal guy, the vending machine guy. If you're in a nursing home and you got the people coming in with the oxygen and things of that nature, restocking. Your garbage man, basically outside your door when they come pick up your garbage. That's why I say it has to be related to social media. This is a job. Do we have a supervisor per se? We are the CEOs and supervisors of our brand, but there is YouTube and there's other things you can do in your state, I'm sure, to report it. So if you're in New York State, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is at 131 M, letter M, Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., 20507. That zip code was 20507. The phone number is area code 202-663-4900. That's 4900. And the TTY line is, I believe that's for the blind or hearing impaired. I believe hearing impaired. 202-663-4494, guys. So you guys can definitely, yeah, and if you see it over here, questions, call 1-800-669-4000 for deaf, hard of hearing callers. Oh, so there's a number here for deaf or hard of hearing callers, 1-800-669-6820. And you can also do video phone because of Corona right now. If you don't want to go into the offices, it's 1-844-234-5122. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get off of that page right there. Let me come back on screen. Well, I gave you the, all right, so 52 minutes. Hello, how are you? Today's my 53rd birthday, and I'm just sharing a personal testimony about how I was minutely sexually harassed on one of my part-time jobs. But I'm bringing it to social media because I know a lot more people are being offended sexually in the workplace. We have to consider any place that give you money, a job, or a way of life, or income. Whether you report your taxes or not, hell, it's still a job, right? And people are being definitely taken advantage of. So let me go ahead and share my other screen. Let's just keep this going. I don't want to be here too long. It is my birthday. Although this is like my 4th or 5th live stream, y'all. I'm actually enjoying it. All right, so U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, facts about sexual harassment. Let me go ahead and take this and drop it in the chat as document number 2, so that way you guys can go back and read these for yourself. All right, 1 second. Document 2. All right, there we go. All right, so let me get back over here. So, sexual harassment is a form of sexual discrimination that violates Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. You know why it violates the Civil Rights Act of 1964? Because during slavery, that's all they did was sexually harass us, assault us, and abuse us. Did anybody just pick up on what I just said? Thank you, Holy Spirit. That's why I love to do these teachings, yo. It all makes sense to me. Why is this a part of the Civil Rights Act? Prior to 1964, we were treated like sheep and cattle, and they took advantage of us sexually. They made us sleep mothers with sons and sons with fathers and fathers with daughters, and they made us do cruel and inhumane things with our body. They did cruel and inhumane things to us in our body. Never really peeped this before in my life, that sexual harassment actually came on the heels of civil rights, like every other else in this world. And this is where they were teaching the predominantly races of gay people how to be gay and how to sexually assault, abuse, and harass other people. So I don't give a damn what you say. When you be out, if you not gay, people who are gay, they know how to keep approaching you and approaching you. Like, are you serious? I've seen some things where gay people don't know how to take no for an answer sometimes. And then when gay people don't let people know that they're gay and enter into a sexual relationship with that person and end up dead, whose fault is it? Did that person sexually abuse the straight person or the other gay person? Because some gay people don't like to lay with other gay people. It's weird to me, but you'll hear some gay men say they don't like studs or they don't like this kind of man or that kind of man. I'm like, oh my God, or they don't want transgenders or. But are people sexually harassing, assaulting and abusing people when they don't give out their status? You know, the military has don't ask, don't tell. But there's a lot of dead people in the world right now, especially transgender men for the most part, that may have told they were transgender and may have not told that they were transgender. My question is it a violation of somebody's rights that want to be a straight woman, that want to be a straight man, that's not afraid of how God created them or called them to be to live in this world? I always say most people who are homophobic is the one who don't want to be a man and the one who don't want to be a woman. Y'all seem more homophobic to yourselves than anybody, than to me, than I can ever be to you. I know that's going to cause me to lose some subscribers, but it's the truth. I have plenty of friends who rather in their own right be gay than to be a little puny man with not a lot of muscles and a feminine stature and a feminine voice, the father of a household, trying to be a good husband and a husband to a woman. They like, no, no. They rather throw all that away and go be someone else's woman. A lot of ugly men and a lot of, I would say, ugly women would turn stud and will become a lesbian because they don't feel they got the right body type to be a woman, or they, of course it's emotions involved, but there have been case studies, I'm sure, that people went to be gay because they didn't think no man would want them, or they've been hurt by men and things of that nature, possibly sexually assaulted by men, abused by men. But y'all don't want to talk about stuff like this. So sexual harassment is a form of sex discrimination that violates Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Prior to this, they were violating the hell out of black people sexually. So, Title VII applies to employers with 15 or more employees, including state and local governments. It also applies to employment agencies and to labor organizations, as well as to the federal government. I was about to say something about Biden. I'll save that. I'll say that. So this is pretty deep, guys. I'm going to just hit some points here and let you guys run for yourself on this. The second paragraph says, unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature constitutes sexual harassment. When this conduct explicitly or implicitly affects an individual's employment, unreasonably interferes with the individual's work performance, or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment. You don't think Hollywood is hostile and offensive? A lot of people that go to Hollywood do not want to sleep with their producers, the directors, the supervisors of Hollywood. But to be there, a lot of people do this. Hence, Harvey Weinstein, Oprah's best friend, right? So, sexual harassment can occur in a variety of circumstances, including but not limited to the following. So, I'm just going to give you some of the examples here, and then I want you guys to click that link, come here, and read the rest of this for yourself. If you or anyone you know feel like you're being sexually harassed anywhere at this point, it don't have to be on anybody's job. Sexual harassment is not welcome. It's not cool. So the victim as well as the harasser may be a woman or a man. Victim does not have to be the opposite sex. It could be man on man, woman on woman. And we also know that it's a lot of the adult on children sexual harassment, abuse, neglect, molestation, pedophile going on, right? The harasser can be the victim's supervisor, an agent of the employer, a supervisor in another area, co-worker, or non-employee. The victim does not have to be the person harassed, but could be anyone affected by the offensive conduct. The victim does not have to be the person harassed, but anyone affected by the offensive conduct. Call centers, New York State Exchange, Marketplace. Y'all call it Obamacare. I call it affordable health care, okay? Here in the state of New York. The banter that used to go back and forth in that office. And when we went, we all had, most agencies, most employments have to do the mandated sexual harassment training. You think these people didn't show up for the training, because no sooner than we get out of the training and get on the floor, it's right back to locker room talk. Like, what President Trump tried to say he was doing with Billy Bush when he said he grabbed a woman cooch. Locker room talk. In most call room centers, for the most part, is loose lip sync shits in that damn place. You hear me? They lips be running. And if you don't want to sit around and talk about who you slept, let me come on camera for this. And if you don't want to sit around and talk about who you slept with the night before, who you in a relationship with, as they say, who banging you out, who hit that, you're the outsider. You're the wrong person. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Or you meet a group of people at the water fountain, right? Absolutely. And it could be men, and women, right? So it's an offensive conduct. And anybody can get hit with this harassment, even if it's not you. Excuse me 1 second, guys. All right, so here we go. All right, so basically the victim does not have to be the person harassed, but could be anyone affected by the offensive conduct. Again, if you're a woman and a woman to your word, and you're in the office and there's men and women talking about sex, eat me, I do this, do that, whatever, You could be offended by that. You could be affected by that. And you could say something about that. Unlawful sexual harassment may occur without economic injury to or discharge of the victim. So you could be harassed and still keep your job. You could be harassed and still have a TV role in Hollywood. You could be harassed and still get a record deal. You don't think S3xually and Mulatto and what's her name, Normandy, some of these young girls coming up in the rap industry is not being sexually harassed, assaulted, and or abused? Let Jaguar Wright tell it. The neo soul community and all these people from Talib Kweli, allegedly, P Diddy, Mary J. She been out in a lot of people here lately. Go check out Storm Monroe. He got all the tea over there with Jaguar Wright. Okay, he got all the tea. You hear me? So the harasser's conduct must be unwelcome. If you want to have a sexual relationship with a person or intimacy, then it's not sexual harassment. But coming over here to my channel saying, "Ooh, I need love. Ooh, I like you. Ooh," I'm telling you now, stop, okay? I don't care if you're trolling or not. Just stop. It's unwelcomed over here, okay? I'd rather have a connection with you spiritually and we talk about God and just life in general than try to have a relationship with you. When I got on here, I was probably just as fucked up and screwed up as you are. When you got on here, I could tell most of y'all was fucked up and screwed up as well. So what the hell you trying to hook up and unless we bringing each other up at a loader bar and uplifting, encouraging, exalting, extolling, and comforting one another in the admonition of the Lord, I don't want no parts of it, okay? You could have a good damn time in the Lord without being gay, without being a drunk, without being a drug addict, without being destitute, downtrodden as the church wants you, and most of all, deceived. So you guys go ahead and finish reading document 2 on your own. Again, I gave you guys the address here. Let me see if there's any sidebars on this one that I want you guys to know. So we have, again, this is all coming out of New York State. This is the guidelines and the recent training we had October 5th. Here in the state of New York. I was present. I got credit for that. It was a 3-hour training. Hopefully I'll get you guys through it within 3 hours, okay? But you have your control number, you have the title fact sheet. Date issue is not there. Date posted January 15th, 97. I'm sure there's some revised documents that probably say the same thing, but came out a little later than 97. But again, 1964. And we read it right over here. Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Sexual harassment is a form of sex discrimination that violates this clause. What was going on prior to that? And these same people that violate you sexually and harass you and abuse you for being black are the same people that make the laws and make the clause. Oh no, we done sexually assaulted them too much. Let's add this in civil rights. And then you got to remember, some of us they call unruly niggas and slaves might have been out here sexually assaulting too. So they find a way. Either way, it works against you. Once they make these laws and make you uphold them, it works against you. They may have been doing this prior to 1964 where it was affecting you, or you might have started rebelling and doing it back to them at that point in time. And it's all hell, we can't have this. Too many of our white women coming up pregnant by a nigger. Let's put a clause in here so nobody can sexually offend anybody anymore. Let's put a clause in here so people can keep their jobs and be sexually assaulted on the job. Let's just put this clause in here. And it's the civil rights clause that it affects. And you people are still fighting for civil rights today. So basically, this one is over with. Let me come back on camera here. Let me stop sharing that screen. Get this off. So now, New York anti-harassment. It kind of goes hand in hand. When you do sexual harassment, you also do regular harassment, anti-harassment. Hopefully, I don't have to sign in for this one. Or do I? I don't want to sign in for this one. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do, says, if your company or employees are located in New York as of 10/9/19, as of 10/9/2020, this state legally requires anti-harassment training. So I'm just going to drop this in the chat for those in the state of New York who want to go ahead and get their training. Hopefully I grabbed all of the link. Let me put this in the chat. Hold on one second, guys. All right, so this is going to be document number 3. And if you want to know what document it is and what we're talking about, actually, you can go back into this video and watch the replay. So document 3 is the New York State anti-harassment. If you're in the state of New York, you can call 855-266-2360. Basically, there's a free download for this. Let me see if I can download it. I didn't put any information. No, it wants my information. I am not going to do that, okay? But let me show you what the page looked like. That way, if you have a small business in the state of New York and you have employers, basically you can go to HR compliance training. It's called SHIFT. And your company or employees who are located in New York State can get this training, and it should have been done and completed as of 10/9/2020, okay? And this is what the page looks like. So it gets into preventing workplace harassment and discrimination. A positive work environment free from harassment and discrimination is required by law and necessary for the health and continued success of our business. Shifts online training, and then it goes on to preventing workplace harassment and discrimination, unconscious bias in the workplace. That's a pretty good one. There's a lot of conscious and unconscious bias on YouTube and social media, period. So it's trying to kick me out, guys, as usual. All right, we're an hour and 13 minutes in, not bad. I was trying to show you document number 3, but it kicked me out. It is unconscious bias in the workplace. New York State training for anti-harassment. Basically, it says people carry unconscious biases, both positive and negative, that shape how they act and treat others. So Shift's online training course introduces peak employees to the important concept. Let me see if I can click on this and what comes up. Because there's a lot of people biased in the workplace, for real, for real. All right, so it's not letting me pull it up. So we're going to go ahead and end document 3. Let's get rid of that. And the last document I want to share with you guys today is the document of sexual harassment policy for all employers in New York State. And here is 7 pages, but believe you me, I am not going to sit here and read 7 pages. I am going to sit here and basically highlight some things I want you guys to have out of it. First of all, let me grab the link. One second, guys. Let me grab this link. Drop this link here. I appreciate those who came through to want to hear about my sexual harassment escapade. I feel sorry for those allegedly being sexually harassed in the workplace, whether it's YouTube or wherever. This is document 4. Yeah, document 4, right? So document 4. Yep. Document 4, guys. Let me go ahead and share this screen, see if I can give you a glimpse of it. It's a pretty long page, like I said. It's 7 pages. I mean, a pretty long document. The New York State Sexual Harassment Policy for all employees in New York State, combating sexual harassment. You have your introduction. So ReligionWinked TV is committed to maintaining a workplace free from sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is a form of workplace discrimination. ReligionWinked TV has a zero tolerance policy for any form of sexual harassment. Now, let me just put my disclaimer here. If you're gay, I don't have a problem with you. The Bible and some forms of Christianity talks against it, but I would not hire you because you're gay. I mean, I would give you a job if you were gay. I would not discriminate against you because of your sexual preference. So it basically goes on to say, there's a zero tolerance here policy for any form of sexual harassment, and all employees are required to work in a manner that prevents sexual harassment in the workplace. This policy is one component of ReligionWinked TV, my social media platform, branding, and anything else I do. Commitment to a discrimination-free workplace and discrimination-free work environment. Sexual harassment is against the law, any way, shape, or form. All employees have a legal right to a workplace free from sexual harassment, and employees can enforce this right by filing a complaint internally with, you go to New York State, you can file it with me. If you happen to be on my channel, on my platform, anybody sexually harassing you, let me know, please. That's the last thing I want going on over in this chat, is to people to be out here sexually assaulting and being offensive to other people for no dang on reason. So it goes on to say, ReligionWinked TV or the government agency or in court under federal, state law, anti-discrimination laws, whatever the hell that means. All right, so you can apply with me, you can apply with the state of New York or whatever state you're in. If you feel like you're being sexually harassed, people, do something about it. So they have the policies here. You're going to go through the policies. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 policies. What is sexual harassment? Again, on this form here, sexual harassment is a form of sexual discrimination and is unlawful under federal, state, and, where applicable, local laws. I think YouTube should be an applicable place where we put these laws in motion. Sexual harassment includes harassment on the basis of sex, sexual orientation, gender, identity, and the status of being transgender. What about a transgender always picking at a black woman on the job, on social media? Because when some transgenders dress up, they look better than women. They know how to flaunt it in our face sometimes. They know how to taunt us with it. They know how to pick at us. They know how to poke the bear and things of that nature. So, what do you think about this clause right here that just says sexual harassment includes harassment on the basis of sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, and the status of being transgender? See, the transgender here is a separate clause again. They have laws and protection about them, right? But it's a different category. It's just not male, female anymore. You have gender identity, sexual orientation, as well as the status of being transgender. Because a lot of people, again, in the workplace tend to pick on transgender people and LGBT community people more so than other people for some reason. So sexual harassment includes unwelcome conduct, which is either of a sexual nature or which is directed at an individual because that individual's sex. So I'm going to go ahead and read these, and then we're going to skip down below. I'm going to read these points right here. So such conduct has the purpose of effect of unreasonably interfering with the individual's work performance or creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment, even if the complaining individual is not the intended target of the sexual harassment. Such conduct is made either explicitly or implicitly a term or condition of unemployment, or submission to or rejection of such conduct is used as the basis for employment decisions affecting the individual's unemployment. I've never not gotten a job because of sexual harassment or people holding something over my head. So for those of you who have not gotten employment because you feel if you didn't sleep with your boss, or because you didn't sleep with your boss, he didn't hire you, he hired you, and then he said, well, this ain't working out, let me get rid of her. Because see, that's what Jeffrey Epstein did. These parents let them, same thing with Tiger King. These parents let their teenagers go to these camps and these places to work with these people, and they end up becoming sex slaves. All right, so you can read here about a sexually harassing work environment. Hostile work environment consists of words, signs, jokes, pranks, intimidation, or physical violence, which are of sexual nature, or which are directed at the individual because of that individual's sex. So it's words, it's signs. I remember sitting in the workplace, and people would have like cartoons with sex, or jokingly, sexual perversion going around, and certain bosses and supervisors would make them remove the content. So it all depends on the nature and character of the supervisor. A lot of people in position and power allow this kind of abuse to go on. As long as they keep making money, they don't give a damn who harassed. They don't give a damn who's offended. Most of them, not all of them, but you know what I'm saying. So basically, you're going to get to the examples of sexual harassment. Physical assault of sexual nature, such as touching, pinching, patting, grabbing, brushing against another employee's body, or poking another employee's body. Now, a lot of people get together for gatherings. If you got people rubbing up on you and touching you and you don't want that stuff, this is YouTube content creators. You don't have to take it. You know what I'm saying? But if you like it, then it's not sexual harassment, okay? So you have to determine and set the boundaries for how close you let people get to you. Like, we standing here, people start to lean in your ear and rub up against you, or say you looking at a phone or something, and all of a sudden everybody just kind of get in to see that phone, but then you feel there's that one person there who breathing down your neck, and he's like, oh, she's like, or they're pressing into you like, wait, back up, chill out. But most people will allow that kind of behavior to go on. And then every time you see that person, they feel like they can come up on you, touch you, grab you, play with you, joke with you. No, 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 no. Once I saw that perverted comment, ooh, need love from you. No, you don't. You don't need nothing from me. So you got, of course, the R word rhymes with grape, sexual battery, molestation, or attempts to commit these assaults. You have unwanted sexual advances or propositions such as requests for sexual favors, accompanied by implied or overt threats concerning the victim's job performance, evaluation, a promotion, or other job benefits or detriments. Subtle or obvious pressure for unwelcome sex activities. So, are you broadening your horizons on social media to see that it's just not for the workplace? It's really applicable by law anywhere. And I'm sure there's some laws that govern social media and the acts of sexual harassment, assault, abuse, and anything else that goes along with it. So, sexual orientated gestures, noise, remarks, jokes, or comments about a person's sexuality or sexual experience, which create a hostile work environment. Shifting into children, there was a report that came out not too long ago where whoever was making the troll dolls had put a button in a compromising position for children, and when they would push this button, there was moaning and groaning signs. Is this person who created that doll at risk for sexual harassment and molestation and pedophilia tendencies to all the children that the parents may have bought this doll? And then parents, you have to examine what it is you're giving your children. Don't just buy something because they're selling it, bring it home and give it to your children. Test it out first. Make sure it's safe enough for your children to have, okay? So you have sexual or discriminatory displays or publications anywhere in the workplace, such as displaying pictures. You got naked peens and all kinds of stuff, puss running all around the internet, right? Posters, calendars, graffiti, objects, promotional material, reading materials, or other materials that are sexually demeaning or pornographic. This includes such sexual displays on workplace computers, cell phones, sharing such displays while in the workplace. You click on a lot of videos nowadays, YouTube, IG, Facebook. Sex is everywhere you pretty much look. And again, for some people, social media is the workplace. So hostile actions taken against an individual because of that individual's sex orientation, gender identity, and the status of being transgender, such as interfering with, destroying, or damaging a person's workstation, tools, or equipment, or otherwise interfering with the individual's ability to perform the job. Some of y'all just stressed out, period. And I mean, it's hard for a lot of us to perform the job and get it done, right? But it basically goes on to say there's a lot of hostile environments in this world right now, believe you me. I think this training is good for us all right now. Sabotaging an individual's work area. There's probably people out here who had their work area destroyed. Like in a regular relationship, this person may destroy your clothes or destroy your car or destroy something personal. But on a job, it's like they destroy your locker or they destroy your terminal, or you get up to go to the bathroom and they come back and all your wires are cut, or you've been logged out of your computer, say, or hijacked or whatever on the job. I don't know. Bullying, yelling, name calling. Bullying goes on the internet. Yelling, name calling, all of that exists in the workplace of social media. Who can be a target of sexual harassment? Anybody can. I've seen some dogs probably sexually harass other dogs. When they be out in the park, they start sniffing that dog ass. Like, if you don't get away from my damn dog, get out of here. But all species, I believe, have some kind of aggression in it where one wants to take advantage of the other for whatever reason. Now, these people don't work. Fish don't work. Cattle don't work. Horses don't work. Dogs don't work. So they're not in jeopardy of losing their job. But I've seen dogs jump on dogs who probably didn't want that dog jumping on them. I'm just saying. Where can sexual harassment occur? Anywhere, I believe, at any time. Now, what is retaliation? Let me just read that for you guys so you're clear. Unlawful sexual harassment is not limited to the physical workplace itself. It's everywhere. Again, you have to consider YouTube a job, social media a job for most people. It can occur while employees are traveling for business or at an employer-sponsored events or parties. Calls, texts, emails, social media usage by employees can constitute unlawful workplace harassment, even if they occur away from the workplace premises or not during work hours. Such as meet and greets, okay? Not really the workplace, but it's a part of your work. It's a part of your brand. It's a part of you, right? When you hook up with other people on social media. So what is retaliation, guys? Unlawful retaliation can be, let me just see retaliation is if my boss said, hey, Drew, I need you to sleep with me or you're going to lose your job. And I say no, and I lose my job. Let's see. Unlawful retaliation can be any action that will keep a worker from coming forward to make or support a sexual harassment claim. You are afraid to go to your supervisor because you're afraid your supervisor is going to make your life a living hell on the job if you report it. So you rather just be quiet and keep taking the abuse or the harassment, right? Adverse actions need not be job related or occur in the workplace to constitute unlawful retaliation. So such retaliation is unlawful under federal, state, and where applicable, local laws. The New York State human rights law protects any individual who has engaged in protective activity. Protective activity occurs when a person has protective activity is when you report it to your boss. That's protective activity. When you file a claim, it should be protected when you do it the right way, as we're going to find out. It should be protected. So when you file a complaint of sexual harassment, either internally or with an anti-discrimination agency, should be protected. And your boss have no reason to come at you with, if there any truth to valid there, your boss has no reason trying to retaliate because you filed charges on him for sexually harassing you. testified or assisted in proceeding involving sexual harassment under the human rights law or other anti-discrimination law. Oppose sexual harassment by making a verbal or informal complaint to management or by simply informing a supervisor or manager of harassment. Now, if I would have told my supervisor, hey, Joe keep making these comments, I think he's flirting with me, it may be a little sexual harassment. Joe would have no reason trying to come through that corner every morning running my ass over through the red light. You understand what I'm saying? Because I made a complaint. He ain't have no reason if he was to shoot BB guns at me while I'm standing out. You know what I'm saying? He had no reason to ride by and make faces at me and no. Put up his middle finger, or you know how you be like, want to make a punch at somebody, or I'm going to get you. He would have had no reason to do that, right? So that's what retaliation is, people. So it goes on to say, if you complain that another employee has been sexually harassed, so if you tell somebody else is being harassed because they're afraid to do it, you shouldn't lose your job or lose pay or have your tires slashed at work. You know, you don't know how crazy these supervisors are nowadays. Encourage a fellow employee to report harassment. So it goes on to say reporting sexual harassment. So you guys, page 4 through 7, I put the link in the chat. You guys can read what supervisory responsibilities are. You're all employers. You have a responsibility on social media to make sure nobody gets sexually harassed, if you care. But I know some people are out here plotting and scheming to see people sexually messed up in the game, especially the children. Oh, so complaint and investigation of sexual harassment. You guys can come, like I said, click the link or come back to this video, scroll through it. But we're on 5 of 7 going into page 6. I want to go ahead and capture legal protections and external remedies. So sexual harassment is not only prohibited by employer, but it is also prohibited by state, federal, and where applicable, local laws. Aside from the internal process at ReligionWinked TV or anywhere else you may work in this world, employees may also choose to pursue legal remedies with the following governmental entities at any time. So you have DHR, which is New York State Division of Human Rights. It gives you the executive law here. I want to keep scrolling down. It said something here, basically, guys, bear with me, something about 1 year. Complaints with DHR may be filed. I'm right here, guys. I'm right here. Anytime within 1 year of the harassment. If an individual did not file the DHR, they can sue directly in state court under HRL within 3 years of the alleged discrimination. An individual may not file with DHR if they have already filed a HRL complaint in state court. So this may be indicative and specifically to New York State. So please check out your laws, whichever state you may be in, right? So the Division of Human Rights, 1 Fordham Plaza, 4th floor, Bronx, New York, 10458. Another line could be the phone number is 718-741-8400. So if you guys feel like you've been sexually harassed or if you feel like you've been violated in any way, please use this information. And I'm giving you, if you no longer work for anybody, but you're on social media being your own boss, there's laws that protect you and work against you as well if you're doing the violating and the harassing, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. United States Equal Opportunity Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC. All right. So again, just brief on the EEOC enforces federal anti-discrimination laws. This EEOC goes with business law. It gets into tariffs and all these different laws that EEOC governs and guidelines, okay, or I should say have say so over or guidance over, right? So again, it enforces that Title VII of 1964 Federal Civil Rights Law and Act, codified at 42 USC 2000 EET Sequire SEQ. An individual can file a complaint with EEOC at any time within 300 days from the harassment. There is no cost to file a complaint with EEOC, and the EEOC will investigate the complaint and determine whether there is reasonable cause to believe that discrimination has occurred. At which point the EEOC will issue a right to sue letter permitting the individual to file a complaint in federal court. So it goes deep, guys. It's just not on the traditional job. It's everywhere. Also, if all else fails, contact your local police department. If the harassment involves physical touching, coerced physical confinement, or coerced sex acts, that's why, for the love of me, guys, don't judge me here, but I don't know how certain women, let's just say Jeffrey Epstein, could be around a person like that with coerced sex acts, physical confinement, physical touching, and let years go by. The R. Kelly situation. Parents let years go by. The people involved let time go by before they say or do anything about it. If I'm being touched and I know it's not right and it's wrong, regardless of what age I am, shit, it's coerced. You got me in physical confinement. I'm going to do my best to try to save myself and reach out for help. And I pray that you guys do the same. The conduct may constitute a crime. So not only are you being sexually harassed, assaulted, and abused, but now a crime is being committed. You know how many crimes have been committed in this world. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that, guys. I'm going to come back on camera. Wow. We've been an hour and 42 minutes. We did good. Shout out to those of you who came through. Thank you for wanting to know about my sexual abuse. Thank you for listening to me share someone else's alleged sexual abuse. While I have you here, let's play some music. Get ready to cue us out of here, right? Right. All right, so did I give you document? Yeah, I gave you document 4, right? Hold on, let me look in the chat. Let's see, government files. Yes, so I can close this out. Okay. All right, close that out. All right, guys, so we did pretty good. We did really, really good. I'm excited, guys. Yay. Sexual harassment. Don't let people do it to you, y'all. Don't let... Oh, hey, Natasha. Don't let people do it to you, y'all. Hey y'all, hi. Hey Yasnia, how are you? Hey Cynthia, hi Kimmy. Hey y'all, thank you for the birthday wishes. It's my birthday. Thank you guys. I love you so much for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you guys are more informed on sexual harassment. The facts are in here based off the state of New York. Again, you can look in your directory, your state directory for this information and compare it to New York State. When you travel, you'll be more adverse in sexual harassment, knowing how your state, how my state, and whatever other state you may travel to govern sexual harassment. So with that being said, guys, it was really good. Again, thank you for listening to my story time and to some of the teachings that we did about sexual harassment and anti-harassment on the job and on social media. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go ahead and let this rock out. You guys still haven't told me if you like look number 1. Did y'all see Tasha K in that orange? She looks so nice with her hair did up in the braids and basically in that orange she had on. She looked really nice. It was a different look for her and she wear it well. Let me tell you guys. All right, so what is going on? Oh, it's still running out. That's why. All right, so we are done here, guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna end it here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It's 3:00. I have something to do at 6:00, so maybe I'll come back and do a brief live stream. TC, maybe I'll come back and do the no voter 2020 election video. Maybe I'll come back in like a half hour. Maybe I'll come back at 4:00. And then we can go to like 5:30 and then I can go on with the rest of my evening and do what it do. So, shalom everybody, and thank you so much for watching ReligionWinked TV, where my spiritual ears stay. Alright guys, we got another video down in the book. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hey. Hey. Oh, hey Lizzie, how are you? Like the hairdo. Hi. Hey. Oh, it's been a really good day, guys. Thank you so much. I will talk to you in a little while. Shalom. Hey y'all, so all right, you guys have a good day. God bless you and thank you so much. Peace.